For this assignment, we're going to be having you work with plotting ordered pairs from a table. And essentially what that means is taking a look at ordered pairs in a given table and then plotting those points on a graph. But before you get started on that, there's a little bit of vocab that we want you to familiarize yourself with. So we want you to use these two tables to help you answer these four statements over here. So for example, the left column in a vertical table always represents the what? Well, if I look at the vertical table and I look at the left column, it looks like the left column is specifically for X values. That's one of the words in your word bank, so that's what you can type in right here. Okay, so make sure you do that for all four of those. And then on number 2, we want you to use the Draw tab right here in OneNote to help you plot the points in this table onto this graph. So I'm going to show you how to do the first one. So if you click on Draw, I'm going to do the red one. And you can change how small or how big your dot is. I'm going to probably make mine a little bit bigger. So this first one is 5:15. And remember, your horizontal axis is your x-axis, and your vertical axis is your y-axis. So these are all the x values, these are all the y values. So for this one, I know x is 5, so x is going to be right there. And then y is 15. So if I go 5 and then 15 right here and go to where those 2 points meet, I can click right there. I have my point. Now, one other thing you want to be careful of is once you're done with using the Draw feature, make sure you click on this little mouse icon over here. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the Draw feature. It won't let you get out of it unless you click on the mouse, and you don't want to have a bunch of drawings over your page like that. Okay? Then for problem number 2, we're dealing with a gear and a machine that rotates 12 times every 3 minutes. There's 3 things that you need to do for this problem. First, you need to drag and drop these labels around the graph to where they're supposed to go. So there's 3 labels. You need to decide which one's the title, which one's the x-axis title, and which one is the y-axis title. So which numbers represent the minutes that it rotates for rotations, and then which one represents the number of rotations. Okay, and then step number 2, you need to fill in the missing values on the x and y axis scales. So if you look down here, there's some of them that are already filled in for you. You need to click in here and determine what the other values are. So I'm noticing that this scale is going up, looks like it's going up by 10 each time. So that means that 90 would need to go in between 180 and so forth. So make sure you fill those in. And then same thing on the x-axis. So in the table up above, it looks like we go up by 3 every time. So that's what I'm going to do here. So make sure you give yourself enough space and then type in 9. And just make sure that the spacing between all of your numbers is the same. You want each number to try and line up with each line here. Once you're done with that, then the last thing you need to do is again use the Draw tab up here to plot the points in this table onto the graph. So for example, I have 3 minutes and 12 rotations. So once you figure out which axes is your minutes and which ones is your rotations, then you can plot those points accordingly. Then once you're done with that, there's a couple of follow-up questions. How many times would the gear rotate in 18 minutes? How many times would the gear rotate in 1 minute? Use the information that you have from your graph and your table to help you figure out what those answers would be. And then last but not least, we have a graph here that's partially done, and what we need you to do is use this graph to determine what values would go here. So for example, so if the number of donuts is 12, I can find that on my x-axis. I need to figure out what the total cost would be. So if I see, okay, well there's 12, what would my y value be? It looks like it would cost $30 for 12. So that's what you would put. If you have any questions, let me know.